It's Saturday Night Alive for the Global Peace Tribe, and what a wonderful group of people you all are. Now, I'm reaching out to our beautiful presenters tonight, our musicians, but to all of you watching. What a beautiful community that we're forming. We truly are the Global Peace Tribe, and I appreciate all of you that tune in every week. And as you know, every show is special, and this one is very special because it's global. We have presenters from 7 different time zones: Australia, New Zealand, East Coast, West Coast, Mexico. It's truly an evening in which we're celebrating Indigenous wisdom rising all across the globe, guiding us in the way that we need. And so it's so important to appreciate that, you know, the ways that maybe our leaders are failing us. We need to look to the Indigenous elders for the wisdom that they've had for centuries. And now is the time for us to embrace that. And we're going to hear that tonight. So I'm excited. And I want to welcome all of you who are watching us on various YouTube channels and Facebook. And you know, you can still come in to our Zoom room, which is a really good thing to do. So if you're watching us on Facebook, make an evening out of it and go to globalpeacetribe.com, globalpeacetribe.com, and register. It only takes about a minute. And what's great about registering is that, of course, we'll have your email address. We're the only ones who use it. But you'll get periodically emails letting you know about our upcoming shows, our upcoming events, and the replays. So you can watch all the recordings. We've done 60 of these shows now, and they're all spectacular. So go to www.globalpeacetribe.com and join. And there's all sorts of special things that happen, including you get to participate in our early Zoom room show, as we had quite a few people, as always, and a wonderful conversation with Chief Phil Lane that just took place. So please do join us. I want to thank our executive producer, Jay Mayer, who really makes things happen. And this is, Jay sponsors these shows. Jay has a very deep love of Indigenous wisdom, and he has sponsored all of these Indigenous elder shows. This is our 5th one we've done. Thank you, Jay. And our senior producer who put this show together. And here's Jan Kaplan. She's going to be co-hosting with us tonight. And she's done a fantastic job. Wait till you see the people that you're going to meet that Jan brought on. So thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jan. And thank you, everybody who has donated when you've registered for us. Thank you so much. There's Phil Lane. And we're going to have a really wonderful show. And to tell you more about the show, let me turn it over to my dear friend, my co-host, my producing partner, the one and only, coming live to you from Sedona, Arizona, it's Deisree.
Thank you, Scott, and welcome everyone to what is now our 58th show that we produced every Saturday night since the lockdown. And we're beginning the 2nd month of season 5, Time to Thrive, April to June. And we have 8 more amazing shows for you. And again, we thank you so much for your donations to our GoFundMe, because that really helps us continue to produce these incredible shows for you. So thank you so much for all your donations. And yes, this is going to be a really amazing show. Our theme is Indigenous Wisdom Rising, Connection and Collaboration Across the Globe. And as we know, just like what's happening on this show, people are gathering virtually from all over the world to affirm the great potential and positive evolution that can take place in the world right now. And this includes the Indigenous people of the world that are uniting strongly and strongly speaking up to support the positive change that's happening now. So we're going to travel from Canada to New Mexico, Mexico City, to Australia and New Zealand. And our wisdom keepers on the show are protecting the resources of the planet with ceremony, honoring the ancestors, meeting in dream time, and working together across the globe to heal themselves, others, and us with the wisdom of their various traditions. Indigenous voices never have been more important than they are today. So let's meet this amazing group of presenters now. First of all, I want to honor and thank for an incredible presentation that happened at our pre-show, Chief Phil Lane. He's an enrolled member of the Yankton, Dakota, and Chickasaw Nations, and he's internationally recognized leader in human and community development. Welcome, Phil. And we are going to be featuring Grandmother Flor de Mayo, who is a healer of divine spirit, and she sees her role as a caretaker of the seeds of the planet. She's a cosmic germinator through teaching and developing community manifestations prayers. And we're also really happy to have Heather, who is Grandmother Flor de Mayo's daughter. Welcome, Heather, and thank you so much for helping us to bring Grandmother Flor de Mayo to this show. We are also going to have Sergio Magana. He's a practitioner, healer, and teacher of the ancient Toltec traditions that has been passed from master to student for more than 1,470 years. And he's a renowned mystic, healer, and teacher. Welcome, Sergio. We also have great-grandmother Muatu Taiha. She's a descendant of the Maori heritage, indigenous culture of New Zealand. She offers transformational workshops that provide a framework for inner exploration, empowerment, and she bridges the gap between spirituality, rationality, and emotions. Welcome, grandmother. We are going to be featuring as well Uncle Lewis Walker. He's a wisdom keeper elder of the Bangjalung Nation, custodian of the rivers of Australia, and teachers of that culture. He performs Aboriginal ceremonies of music and is particularly known for playing the didgeridoo for his deep magical art that reflects the First Nation ancestral lineage. And we're so happy to have Auntie Anne Paulina. She's an Indigenous Australian woman in the Kimberley region of Western Australia. She is an active Indigenous community leader, human and earth rights advocate, filmmaker, and respected academic researcher. Welcome, Auntie Anne. For musicians, again, we have an incredible group. We are inviting back Pura Fe. She is a musician and Renaissance woman, singer-songwriter, founding member of the internationally renowned Native Women's a cappella Ulali, and she created a movement through the Indian country, empowering Native women hand drumming and helping build a new bridge for Native music into mainstream music industry. Welcome, Pura Fe. And we have back one of our favorite musicians, Sister Stone. She is a hip hop and soul artist and earth-rooted leadership. And she'd worked with many groups, startups, and leaders for 10 years, supporting them to cultivate relational wellness and earth-centered leadership and business guidance. Thank you for joining us again, Sister Stone. And we use this platform to generate green love, which we take in terms of allowing you to donate to our GoFundMe, and then we give that out to the world for good. And tonight's donations are going to the Path. And this is Grandmother Flor de Mayo's nonprofit. And also a portion of the donations are going to go to all the presenters that are here. So your green love that will be coming in to the Path is going to go to all the presenters. And the Path is a nonprofit organization that is on Flor de Mayo's 40-acre property in New Mexico. And it unites the Seed Temple and Sacred Temples for Humanity. And the Seed Temple was a realization of Grandmother Flor de Mayo's original vision of a place where the sacred heritage seeds would be protected for future generations. And it's existed since 2012. So I'm going to be posting that link in the chat room on our Zoom and on all our Facebook pages. So please donate generously to support these incredible presenters and the Path. And now I want to introduce our executive producer and the woman that put all this together, networked all these incredible presenters from all around the world. Jan Kaplan, and of course, Jay Mayer. Jan, would you like to share from your heart a little bit about this incredible show?
Yes, thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Scott, and welcome to everybody here. And it's just been a real joy and an amazing experience. I need to thank Janice Hall, who's one of our just devoted attendees here, who helped us make the connection with Auntie Anne and Uncle Lewis. And as we started making connections with our various elders and bringing Chief Phil back to give us an update on the condor, eagle, quetzal, we started realizing that there was an amazing connection between so many of our presenters. And so what we're going to experience tonight are people who have been working with each other across the globe. And Heather, whose grandmother Flor de Mayo's daughter, went to Egypt with great-grandmother Moatu, and Chief Phil is now friends with Uncle Lewis, who just got his first phone in December. So things are happening now with technology and the connections and the collaborations that we're all making, especially through this show, and all of our, we just really are excited about our audience because we just love you so much, and we know that everybody's engaged and wanting to learn more and be inspired. So it's going to be an amazing show tonight. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Jan, and thank you, Jay, as well, for helping to create these amazing shows. And we always like to start with raising the vibration and going into our heart. And we are so blessed to have a prayer coming to you from a video that we had specially designed for this show from grandmother Flor de Mayo. Grandmother Flor de Mayo is a healer of divine spirit. She has the ability to see other realms of color, light, and sound. She travels the world offering ceremonies and spoken word on a wide range of topics. She was born under the sign of the seed, and she sees her role as cosmic germinator through teaching, community, manifestation, and development. And in recent years, she's been working with the seeds and sees her roles as a caretaker of the seeds. She had a vision during a dialogue with the beloved mother, and in the vision, Flor de Mayo found herself sitting in a rocking chair, rocking back and forth and being guided to prepare seed bundles with prayer. The seed bundles are given to the parents of the children being born today and those yet born into the future. So let us drop into our hearts and our soul and be with Flor de Mayo as she opens this incredible show with a prayer.
Beloved Creator, beloved Mother, heart of the heavens, heart of the earth, beloved Creator, grandmothers of the four directions, spirit of all of our ancestors, beloved Beauty. Thank you. Thank you on this sacred day, beloved Mother. This beautiful, beautiful day in which you have chosen to bring us together. You're bringing us together in this beautiful, beautiful circle. Each and every one of us from around the globe, beloved Creator. We stand here before you, holding you and holding each and every one out in the four directions, holding everyone in our hearts, sending love across the world, sending light across the world, beloved Creator, so that we as humans can become one nation of humans on this beautiful, beautiful sacred day. As we stand before the spirit of the fire, the sacred sun, beloved Creator, that we allow ourselves to receive the rays of the sun in our hands. And we could choose to send these beautiful rays of healing to everyone around the globe. And as we do this, beloved Creator, let it be so that at the end, as we send out these rays of healing light to everyone, that we at the end then receive these rays and we bless ourselves. As we become one with each and every one. Let's think of the spirit of the sacred wind, allowing ourselves to receive the energy of the wind, the energy of the sacred breath, and we send it out into the four directions, across to everyone on the earth, all of our brothers and sisters. And then we allow ourselves to be blessed by the sacred breath, allowing ourselves to be blessed, to be cleansed and blessed, beloved Creator. Let's allow ourselves to be blessed by the spirit of the sacred waters. Envision the droplets of the sacred rain falling upon us as we receive it in our hands, as we send it out into the four directions, blessing each and every one, young and old, cleansing everybody with the sacred waters, the sprinkle of the sacred rain. And then we bless ourselves with this sacred water, allowing ourselves to be blessed and to become one with the rain. And at this very moment, we allow ourselves to receive the blessings of the Mother Earth. And as we receive these blessings, that we send out the blessings to each and every one around the globe, where we become one with the earth and bless everything that is on the earth. The animals, the plants, the trees, the flowers, the rocks, all of humanity, all that exists on the earth. Sending our blessings with our hands and then allowing ourselves to be blessed by the spirit of the earth as we inhale and exhale. Beloved Mother, this beautiful, beautiful practice that you have given us, and where we send our healing energies to everyone around the globe, and then we bless ourselves. Thank you for this beautiful, beautiful teachings on this beautiful, beautiful day of beloved Creator. Thank you for allowing us to become one with all of the sacred elements of life. In the name of all of the beauty that is around us, and in the name of all creation, beloved. In the name of the spirit of all of our ancestors, thank you. Thank you for this precious, precious moment. Thank you.
Wow. It's amazing. She's so amazing. And when we were looking to get music for this show, we thought of our beautiful friend, Sister Stone. She's got an amazing song, Water is Life. And so many of our presenters here tonight are river keepers and keepers and protectors and custodians of the earth and of water in particular. And of course, Grandmother Flor de Mayo is a seed keeper. And so there's so many beautiful synchronicities happening tonight. So Sister Stone, we welcome you. She's based in the Detroit metro area, Michigan, on Anishinaabe land. She's a hip hop and soul artist, and she's earth rooted and a leadership guide. She's worked with groups and startups and leaders for 10 years to support them in cultivating relational wellness, earth-centered leadership, and business guidance. And she also released her first EP in May of 2020, last year. So we're so welcome to have her here tonight to open up our show with some really uplifting music. So thank you, Sister Stone.
Thank you. It's always an honor to be here. I've been invited back a few times, and I think since a year ago now, and I am celebrating the 1-year anniversary of my first music project called Reciprocal Relations today. So that's exciting. And, you know, speaking on reciprocal relations, this is really the cornerstone of everything that I do as far as my music and work goes. And the way that relates, to water, water being a huge part of my work and really my own. Water is one of my greatest teachers. I try to pray to water every day, and this song is my prayer to water. And it's an honor to be here. Again, I wanted to acknowledge the Anishinaabe peoples of this land that residing on unceded Anishinaabe territory, and all of the living beings on this land, all of my ancestors, the unseen world, and all of the beautiful creature teachers and plants here surrounding me. So I'm going to just go for it. So feel free to hold your water. This is actually kind of a dancey song, so you're probably going to be a little surprised. So it's groovy, but hold the water, pray to your water as I am praying to water. All right. Hey, hey, oh, hey, you that grows, you that flows, how you are in me, how you are in all living things. Teach me how to nourish, how you let life flourish, how you deepen, how you vast, how you move so slow and fast, how you find your way into the smallest, darkest place. Teach me how to pray, how to move like you with grace. Water is life. Whoa, water is life. Water is life. Whoa, water is life. Yo, I watch you water in the way that you move. So pure, so clean. It's you, it's so true. Ooh, I come to you every day on my knees, praying to you, asking you to show me how to be a life giver, flow like your river. It's you who I owe my life to. Nothing in this world compares to your divinity, highest order of love, holy source of everything. I pray about the people who are thirsty and rage about the people who are greedy. I pray about the people who are thirsty and rage about the people who are greedy. Water is life. Whoa. Water is life. Water is life. Whoa. Water is life. You who is me, have mercy, mercy. For the ways I've mistreated you, for the ways I have depleted you, for forgetting you're holy, you bring me to be lowly. Teach me how to wait till the tide follows its fate. How you never leave, only change or stay. Holding you the memory of all the energy that came before and still be pure, to wash away what does not remain. Water is life. Whoa. Water is life. Water is life. Whoa. Water is life. Thank you. Water is life. Water is God. Water is source. Water is is everything. Where we source our existence from. So I owe my life to water. I know that much. So I try to live my day to day as a thank you. That's, what we can all do in our different unique ways. Before I transition, I wanted to just offer a prayer to all of the dry lands in the world, all of the thirsty people. And so, Creator, God, Mother Earth, Father Sky, all of my ancestors on my father's side, and all of the ancestors on my mother's side, all of the beings of this land, all of the creature teachers. Just want to ask for a prayer for all of the lands in the world that are on fire, that are experiencing drought, anywhere that needs nourishment, anywhere that needs some quenching, all the human beings in the world who are suffering, who are thirsty. Just pray and just ask you, water, if you will some way, somehow find your way to all of those places in the world that need you, all of those places that are thirsty, that you might somehow, some way find yourself clean there, so that everybody and all of the creatures and beings on the land can feel nourished and can feel vibrant and thriving with life and vitality. So thank you, water, and thank you, Creator, for bringing this water here clean to all of the places that need it most, so that we may continue to grow good food and create seeds and life and pass this earth on to the next generation in a good way. Ho.
Oh, thank you so much, dear Sister Stone, one of our favorite musicians. Sister Stone has lived on several different places of Indigenous land in North and South America. And I appreciate that she's the youngest person presenting tonight, and yet she has so much experience already living on the land with Indigenous elders and peoples. And she brings that with her, that energy. And that's one of the reasons why we love having her on these Indigenous shows. And she'll be back doing another song for us. But I'm sure some of you are wanting to know more about Sister Stone, and she's got a website. And so I want to encourage you to go to her website. It's a very easy one to remember. It's her name. It's sister-stone.com. Sister-stone.com. She's got all sorts of wonderful offerings there, including coaching music, consulting, and a video course. So register so you can get a free course from her. She is wise beyond her years, and we love her and respect her so very, very much. And isn't it wonderful to know that there's the next generation coming up doing the work and carrying the wisdom the way that she does. It's really quite wonderful. And to continue to introduce our next presenter, I'm going to turn it back over to Jan.
Hello there. Yeah, so while we were putting the show together, we realized that the dream time is really important for the Toltecs and also for the Australians. And I'm sure there are more Indigenous peoples around the world who meet and work and study and pray and are in the dream time. So Sergio Magana, who's live with us tonight from Mexico City, he's a practitioner and teacher of ancient Toltec tradition that's been passed from master to student for more than 1,470 years, as Deborah said earlier. And I think Erica's got her audio on that needs to be muted, Sergio. But he is a world-renowned mystic, healer, and teacher in his tradition. And he was raised in a Catholic home in Mexico, but he was surrounded by ancient Mexican spiritual practices from the time he was a child. And now he's a Hay author, the publisher Hay House, and has international bestsellers, The Toltec Secret, Caves of Power, and recently of the Real Toltec Prophecies. So I'd like to welcome Sergio here tonight.
Thank you very much. And it's an honor to be part of this love event. I cannot describe it as nothing else. It's just pure love, pure good intentions. And I will tell you a little bit about me. In 2005, I had I was the host of a spiritual show, and that we were talking about many different traditions. And one day, like we said before, the grandmother spider that weaves the web of the collective dream made an event that changed my life completely. One of the main keepers of one of the lineages of the Toltec and Aztec traditions, the Nahua ones, heard the radio show, and just by hearing the voice said, he's the one that is going to transmit the wisdom that we have been keeping from, because the last Aztec ruler before the conquest, he said, hide our treasure, pass it from master to students, from mothers to daughters, from fathers to sons, because with the sixth son, it's going to be needed in the world. And the time is now. We are arriving into the sixth son. And I don't know how, but he chose me, and then his other good friend that was the carrier of the word of other of the main lineages that were like secret until that time, also began training me. So it was many years of learning many things. Like you said, I was born in a Catholic, in a Catholic family, but now I am really proud of the transformation of being a Toltec and Aztec practitioner. And I want to say a phrase that embraces everything that I'm trying to share today. Mahtotonal Pepetlahka. That is the ancient language of the Toltecs, of the Aztecs. That means that our beloved son, bright for all of us. And I want to tell, because my first lesson with Hugo, one of these great teachers, was about the long count of central Mexico. It consists in a cycle of 26,500 years. That is very similar to the one of Egypt, of precession of equinoxes, the Western astrology split it in the eras. And he told me that for the Toltec traditions, the main number was the number 4, because 4 main moments of the day, 4 phases of the moon. The 4 seasons is split by solstices and equinoxes. So the long count that was split in periods that were named suns and that are of 6,625 years. And that we will having this great shift. And for the first time, I heard the date 2021, because in that time, everyone was just talking about the Mayan count, the 2012. And actually, I wrote my first book, putting the title 2021, The Dawn of the Sixth Sun. In that moment, it was really criticized because I was like the only one talking about other date. That actually is not that the Mayan one wasn't correct. It was that, like he told me, every 52 years, these groups had like meetings in which they were making adjustments. So that the Mayans flower before the Toltecs and the Aztecs. So they didn't have the adjustments. And he told me many things that nowadays have been fulfilled completely. Like, for example, that the year that from 2012 to 2021, we will be crossing through the underworlds, so that it was going to be not so easy for humankind. And especially 2020, because it was the underworld of complete darkness, in which everything was going to stop. And only the ones that were following their inner self were going to be able to keep moving. And actually what happened in our planet, for me, it makes me more peaceful that to think that it's part of a global consciousness and a change. And then 2021 is the start of this new period. And the first thing that he told me is like to study the oral tradition about what was said that happened in the previous suns. So 30,000 years, the first sun, the son of the Jaguar, that it's only a brief story about that the giant beings existed. We don't know how to interpret that, but it can be like the Elohims, the avatars of many other cultures, that they say that they weren't honest, so that's why they perished. And one, the inheritance of the first son is the lack of honesty. The second, it was described that everyone became a monkey, that is the symbol in the tradition of pleasures, and that the wind came. So it was like a kind of existence in which the discipline, the purpose in life was lost. And then surrendering to pleasures and losing our main purpose is one of the things we have to deal. The third, it was said that everyone became a turkey, that is the symbol of ego, the false illusion of being more or being less than others. And the false ego is a third thing to deal with. The fourth, in which the overwhelming emotions created suffering, and the fifth, injustice. But the sixth is much more optimistic. It is the return of the Quetzalcoatl, the ones of the precious knowledge. Actually, Quetzalcoatl is very similar to Kundalini. It means the rising serpent. And in the system of the Toltecs and Aztecs through the Totonal Cayos. So I would like to share a small practice of becoming like dealing with the previous suns, with the light of the one that is the white sun, the sixth sun, to destroy all the memories that we have of the previous suns, lack of honesty, surrendering to pleasures, and to make the energy of the serpent to rise and to be part of this group that will take back the precious knowledge. So it will be really small, but with all the Tlazoctla, the precious essence from my ancestors and from my land. So close your eyes, take a deep breath, And when you breathe out, take out all the heavy energy. Take other deep breath. And when you breathe out, tune with the rhythm of the universe, the measure, the movement. And we're crossing this fabulous portal to a new sun, the white sun, the one of the return of the Quetzalcoatl. And just visualize that the rays of the sun are reaching you, rising your vibration and destroying the lack of honesty in you of the first sun. Surrendering to pleasures of the second, the ego from the third, the addiction to suffering of the fourth, the injustice and the difference of the fifth, allowing the return of men and women of the four directions that will represent the precious knowledge, the Quetzalcoatl knowledge. Now breathe, take the energy, hold the breath, and take it from the coccyx like a serpent to the sexual area, to the navel, to the chest, to the throat, to the forehead, and finally to the crown. And breathe out, exit like a feathered serpent that is flying to a white sun, the return of the consciousness that has been prophesied in many cultures. This serpent enters into the sun, and we are taking a decision in this event of pure love, being part of this group that will carry the ancient knowledge in these times. Ometeotl, that is the Nahuatl Amen, two energies joining. Tlazokamati, thank you. Thank you very much for allowing me to share the information from my ancestors.
Thank you. Wow. What a blessing to have you with us, Sergio. And I do want to let people know a couple of things. Tell us a little bit about your book, Caves of Power, Energy Techniques for Healing, Rejuvenation, and Manifestation.
Actually, for the ancient ones, the caves were symbolizing like our unconsciousness, what is inside of us. So to do activities in the dreaming time and certain things to really awake our inner power. Because it was said that the fifth sun, it was like a sun of the tonal or the waking state in which we place things outside like God, satisfaction, medicine. But the sixth sun will be like the one that we have to close the eyes. And if we have closed the eyes like when we are sleeping, there is no outside. So everything will come and we have to discover these caves, these parts of us that probably we don't know about, dreaming, about befriending all these forces, and to really develop them in order to become your best possibility. That is a Quetzalcoatl.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much. I definitely look forward to getting that book. And just want to remind everybody that you can go to his website, SergioMagana.com. I know that I put the link in, but again, it's Sergio, Sergio, Magana, Magana, his name, online.com. And what I like about, there's things about his website that I was impressed with, but you can pick your language. So you can read it in Spanish or in English, depending on what you want. So thank you so much for blessing us with your presence, Sergio.
No, thank you. It's an honor. Yeah, like I said, a pure love event, and I'm so honored and touched to be here.
Thank you. Well, we certainly hope you'll come back and be with us again. Okay, thank you. Well, we're going to be kind of throughout the show sharing with you wisdom from grandmother Flor de Mayo. Her daughter Heather is with us. And Jay and Jan have put together a really, really fun video of some of her teachings. You know, we now have a regular feature every week. We have what we call the Wisdom Jewel, and it's where we take quotes based on the theme. And so for tonight's show, here we go with some quotes from our beloved grandmother Flor de Mayo. Enjoy. Fantastic. Thank you, grandmother, for your wisdom. Thank you, Jay and Jan, for putting together such a really fun video. And a reminder that tonight we are sponsoring and asking all of you to donate to The Path. The Path is the nonprofit organization founded by grandmother Flor de Mayo. And of course, the money that we raise will go to her work, and you'll learn more about her seed project. But it's also going to go to all of our presenters. With our Indigenous shows, we always like to help raise money for all of these elders and also for our two musicians, Sister Stone and Pura Fe. They all are doing wonderful, wonderful work in the world. Most of them have charitable organizations. And so we're going to divide everything equally amongst the people you're seeing here tonight. So please be generous. I'm going to pull up the poster, if you will, of where we're donating to. And this is donating to The Path. And as I bring it up, please, please, please go to the link that's in the Zoom room or that's in the Facebook chat and donate. And I'm really happy that somebody, you know, we're building family here. And someone who's really become part of our family is grandmother Flor de Mayo's daughter, Heather. We love Heather. She is so awesome. She really makes a lot of things happen. So welcome, Heather. It's so good to have you with us today.
Oh, thank you so much, Scott. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Janice. And thank you all the presenters and everyone in the music and stuff. And I just want to say on behalf of my mom and I have touched and how much we love you guys and the show and everything that you guys do. And it really, it almost made me cry watching the quotes come by, because my mom is just a little grandma and she loves to pray. And, you know, besides being my mom, she really is trying to preserve these heirloom seeds. And, you know, without the seeds, there wouldn't be any life, you know, whether we're eating it, the animals are eating it. And it's a beautiful 40 acres that my mom's created, the Temples for Humanity, honoring the 4 sacred elements. So if you're ever in New Mexico, I know Grandma Muatu's come many times to New Mexico, and we've traveled so many journeys together. But if you ever find yourself in New Mexico, please visit my mom and The Path. And again, it is a 501c3. So your donations are a tax deduction. You'll get a receipt for that donation. And in turn, we're going to share it with everyone. So I really want to thank you so much for having us. And my mom is solar powered. Otherwise, she would be here in person. So anyway, she's kind of like I feel like a little one of those plants that wakes up in the morning and goes to sleep when the sun comes down. So thank you so much for donating and, finding out more information and helping all the Indigenous elders.
And Heather will be back with us a little bit later on in the show. We're going to share more about seeds and the seed project. It's really quite wonderful. So thank you, Heather. And please, everyone donate. And remember, one of my favorite things to do is to thank those of you who donate. Now, you can always donate anonymously if you don't want your name mentioned. But I always enjoy acknowledging. And as I'm really getting to know you, I'm getting to know many of you by reading you in the chat, and also by those of you who donate on a regular basis to whatever our fundraiser for the night or the day is. Speaking of fundraisers, I was at Harbin Hot Springs a few days ago, and Eric, who we raised a lot of money for when his home burned down, was there. And he's like, "Oh my God, Scott, I want to," and he came up to hug me and goes, "Can I hug you?" This is the COVID thing. I said, "Yeah, you can hug me, I'm vaccinated." We gave each other a big hug, and he was like, "It meant so much to me to get that money and that support from the Saturday Night Live community just a few days after my house burned down. It meant so much to me." And so I want all of you to know that when you donate, it really makes a difference, because there's the green energy, the money, but also just for someone like Heather and Muatu and all the people you see in Sister Stone, it's like, oh wow, people are appreciating my gifts. That sense of community support is so important. We are the Global Peace Tribe, and now it's time for us to keep the green flow inside of our tribe. So thank you very much. And to introduce our next musical artist, one of our favorites, here's Jan.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, we just love Pura Fe, and we brought her back. And she is an amazing artist. If you don't know who she is, her name means pure faith, Pura Fe. She was born in New York City, and she's an heir to the Tuscarora Indian Nation. She's an artist, an activist, and much, much more. She's truly a multidimensional Renaissance woman. She lives in Canada now, and she's writing a film for Resolution Pictures. And she's also working with First Nations dance and theater troupes while recording a new album. So we welcome Pura Fe back, and we're going to be surprised because we don't know what she's going to play for us, but we always love what she does. So welcome, Pura Fe.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Is that
Yeah.
good sound? Okay. I'm just my husband's staring at me from the doorway. I'm gonna sing a canoe song. And I'm Tuscarora and Taino. My father's from Puerto Rico. My mom's family, all of them, they're from North Carolina and from the coast. They're water people. We call ourselves river people. And I like being on the water. And I sing lots of canoe songs. So here we go. I'm going to use my loop station. Way, 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 go. Way, 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 we go. Way, oh, we go. Way, hey, hey, way, way, we go. Way, oh, we go. Hey, hey, way, way, oh, way, oh, we go. Hey, way, 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 oh, way, oh, we go. Hey, ah, hey, way, oh, we go. Way, hey, ah, hey.
Oh, that was fantastic. Just fantastic.
Thank you.
My favorite part is when you get out the conch shell. That sends me over the. That's just incredible.
I should have blown it first, but anyway.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. So she's gonna be back, but I want to back tonight. But I definitely want to refer people to where you can find out much more about her, and that's her website. And her website is her name. It's purafe.com. So that's purafe.com, purafe.com. And there's a lot going on this website. So please go to the website, register so you can follow her, just like 3,300 other wise souls have done. And Pura Fe, thank you so much for being with us.
Oh yeah, thank you for asking me to come back. It was really an honor. I like listening to everyone. It's really nice. Because of the COVID, I haven't been able to go to any ceremonies with lots of people. We just have our own little tiny lodge, but so this is awesome to be able to have this energy. Yeah, thank you.
That's why we do it. We do this because so many people have been not able to go to church. A lot of the people who write to Deborah and I talk about how we have become their church. We are what they look forward to on Saturday night, is where they're going to get music and inspiration and wisdom and feel connected to community. And so we are the Global Peace Tribe. We are growing. And in addition to what we're doing now on Saturday nights, please join us on Friday night for Straight Talk, on Sunday mornings for our Secret Sunday show, or for some of our special events. We'll be talking about those special events a little bit later on. I get to introduce one of my favorite people who comes on to Saturday Night Live. This is, I think, his 4th appearance, and hopefully he can hear me and he will start his video. There he is. I'm, of course, talking about our beloved brother, Chief Phil Lane. Those of you who came into our early Zoom room got to hear him speak at greater length. Many of you know him, but for any of you who don't know, Chief Phil Lane Jr. is an enrolled member of the Yankton, Dakota, and Chickasaw nations. He's an internationally recognized leader in human and community development. Phil has been tireless in his efforts to bring our world together, to help us remember the great indigenous wisdom, and to really, he plays a huge role in bringing all the different peoples together, the different nations together, to fulfill the glorious and positive prophecy. And in this time where there's a lot of doomsayers, where there's a lot of fear-mongering, Phil's passion for life, his belief in humanity, his belief in the spiritual nature of human beings and how we can all come together is completely an inspiration to many of us. And so, Phil, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
And thank you, brother, and thank you all for your beautiful sharing. Thank you, Pura Fe. That chant was right down to the heart of hearts. That got right down to the nitty gritty. Where we have to get down to the soul, to our souls. That's where this is unfolding right at our soul. And Brother Scott, I was listening and reflecting about our discussions. This whole indigenous arising, the whole global dimension of this unfolding. And what's I think so important, first of all, is to get to the foundation of the indigenous worldview of oneness. And when we really get down to that worldview, it's about understanding the principle of the prior unity and oneness of our human family and all life. And the herd of one is a herd of all. And the honor of one is the honor of all. That is, from the very beginning of creation, that goes clear back billions of years, we have always been who we are, always have been. In fact, our elders share with us very clearly that when we're birthed into this physical plane of time and space, we're birthed as sovereignties, ancient, imperishable, and everlasting, every one of us, each one of us. is a sovereignty, ancient, imperishable, and everlasting. It's so important to reflect on this understanding of the oneness of the Creator. If we went to every granary in the world, we'd never find two pieces of grain the same. If we went along and walked along every beach on Mother Earth, we'd never find two pieces of sand the same. Each of us is unique. And so without this understanding of the oneness of our human family in all life, in terms of having peace, truly peace on earth, there's no foundation for it to happen. Because with the oneness, we begin to realize these very important principles, the equality of women and men. The eagle has two wings. One is woman and one is man. Until both wings of that eagle have equal power and respect and honor, the eagle of humanity will never fly its highest. That's a fundamental. And we can also see in the prophecies that womankind are leading this transformation. And others who have learned so much, by the way, yes, while one goes under oppression, like the last 500 years of prophecy talked about, that at the same time, if you keep praying and you keep having faith in your prophecies and your teachings, you become spiritually stronger. And I think that if we look at womankind as a whole, what womankind has been through because of the physical, just physically, this capacity men have had to dominate women, not intellectually, not spiritually, not emotionally, certainly, but physically. At the same time, to deal with that, just like indigenous people, others, there's been capacities developed. So really, most men don't realize that women already have figured out where we've gone wrong, and they have things to suggest better. I don't know how I got to that point, but it's very important, very important. But also, when we understand the oneness of our human family, then we have to balance the growing extremes of wealth and poverty. Trillions of dollars have gone to the hands of a few people, while over 300 million members of our human family have gone into extreme poverty along with the others that are there. Unbelievable, that injustice. How could that happen when we understand these are all members of our same human family? Of course, when we realize oneness, it's the elimination of all prejudice. All prejudice, whatever form that prejudice is, has nothing to do with us, ourselves as human beings. It has to do with divisions that are put between us that don't serve us at all. Any prejudice does not serve us. It's the same time we can see now the coming of the harmony between science and spirituality. We're finding, for instance, our sacred plant medicines that have so many gifts to give are beginning to be understood, and science and spirituality is beginning to come together in those. We're understanding that every human child upon this Mother Earth has a right to universal education. That is, to education to about who they are as a human being, the sacredness of who they are, about the fact of the oneness of humanity, about the respect of Mother Earth, and the challenges we're facing, especially those environmental challenges. If we don't wake up, we're going to be in real trouble, as we know. And of course, we're talking about a unity and diversity. As the creation is diverse, and so beautifully and diverse, yet it can live in harmony. And so we're talking about a unity and diversity. And I believe that, with all this false news out there that one of the principles that it's important to foster and to encourage is the independent investigation of truth for our own self. That is, not from somebody else's mouth, somebody else's ears, somebody else's eyes, but we need to independently investigate truth for our own self. And I believe and also go to sources like Saturday Night Live that are presenting directly the voices of the people directly from the heart of what's unfolding. So, those are some more broader things. Of course, the whole event that's unfolding, which I know you're going to be having sessions, or you're having the Saturday Night Live will be during that time, and that's the World Unity Gathering. The World Unity Gathering, the 19th through the 26th of June. And that's a big date for us because that's the date of the anniversary of the formation of the union of the condor, the quetzal, and the eagle, the fulfillment of the prophecy of the reunion of the condor, the quetzal, and the eagle, and that's unfolding. And that's an alternative to the systems we now live in. Right now, even though from 108 million or 100 million or so down to probably 15 or 20 million, the just in 11 nation states, indigenous people, according to the UN Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous People, are about 78 million in just 11 nation states. They're now connected together in embryonic form. We're building this 2021, we're building the digital backbone for this digital nation, the first ever. But size-wise, it's the 4th largest nation state in the Americas out of 34 nation states. But again, these are dreams and visions we have with the understanding, and I'll just close with this, that it's so important to stand in our spiritual strengths, stand in our strength, know where we're coming from, know where we're going, know who we're traveling with, stand in our strength, and move to the positive alternative we wish to create, the vision for the future. For us, that's where the union's moving. What is our vision for the future? Move that direction. Put our energy there without giving our energy away fighting the negative. Because the old system, the colonial system, is collapsing. That's a fact. It does not have the spiritual foundation. It does not have what sustains community. That's unity. That's the spiritual foundation. And so no reason to cry about it. We can spend our time over there helping tear it down if we wish, or we can build anew. And that's what we're saying. Let's build anew. Let's build anew together. That's where, we're coming from. And so I thank Darwin Rodriguez, who is with us down in the Amazon, direct descendant of Atahualpa, the last Inca. It's amazing to see all these connections happening. Scott, that you're putting together here, Janice, Jay, all the relatives here, Sister Flora de Mayo, good things she's doing. All of us here are doing this in a good way. So I'll leave it like that. I love you all. Give you a big hug. And like my dad always used to say, he said, son, if you can't be happy today, what day are you waiting for? And I'll tell you what, I'm not waiting any longer here. Today is a good day to be happy. And I love you all.
We love your passion. And I want to show a couple of websites. First off, he talked about World Unity Week. And Saturday Night Live is going to be very involved. We're having meetings every week with the founders. And this is going to be a very powerful week, June 20th to the 27th. And you can learn all about it by going to unity.earth. Go to unity.earth, register, learn all about it. Brother Chief Phil is going to be a big part of that. There's a lot of events planned, and it really is so many of us are collaborating. It's very, very exciting to see the collaboration taking place. So definitely that's something you're going to be hearing us talk a lot about. And I also want to remind people where you can learn more about Phil. And that's his website, which I had here a moment ago. Also, go back and take a look at what we did with Phil earlier in the show. We will be posting the full show. Go back and see his full presentation. Very, very powerful, what he had to share about how all the nations are coming together. This is Phil's website. He is the founder of the Four Worlds International Institute. And so the acronym is FWII. So his website is fwii.earth. fwii.earth. And Phil, we're not going to let you go yet because Uncle Lewis is a friend of yours. He was going to be with us live and something came up. He's not able to join us. But we have 2 videos we're going to play. Him playing didgeridoo and really kind of taking us into the energy field of the didge. And then he has some words to speak. But our dear beloved brother here, Chief Phil, knows Uncle Lewis. You've spent time with him. So would you be willing to just tell us a little bit about who we're about to meet?
Yes. Well, our dear brother is right from the heart of our Indigenous relatives of Australia, Kaplan. And, I really love what they understand as the oldest culture in the world, 50,000 years old, over 50,000 years old. And that is, they see themselves not as Indigenous people, but as star people. They really understand that that's where we came from. And of course, as we know, the iron in every bit of every cell of our body was actually formed in supernovas in this extreme hot heat. Extreme. I mean, but that is really what we know is the foundation of what's in every cell of our body. And of course, they understand that, and they see themselves as star relatives. And so, Uncle Lewis would really want to be here. And thank you, Sister Janice, for always making sure that we support and we are aware of all that's unfolding. Because really, Uncle Lewis, he just got a cell phone for the first time here in December when we started having a chance to visit. So these relatives are rising, and I'm so happy that you're including. Well, this is natural. You would do this, including. I mean, it's not something. How do I say it? You're very aware. So anyway, so here we go, Uncle Lewis.
Right.
Oh, he's not right here. We enjoy dancing a little bit together too. So please.
Ngabo kaya na jakang ko. Ngaya nga yiriki nga. It's a didgeridoo. I'm going to sing you a song. The vibration will be rippling waters, sharing the dream, sharing the story, and sharing the trust and truth. A song of our messenger, the white whale.
Oh.
In my language, she is called Yurigi, the messenger.
Oh.
Ya Borgayana.
Wow. So beautiful to drop into that powerful, powerful energy. And we send Uncle Lewis so much love and appreciation. And we do have some words that he has recorded that we're now going to play. Here we go.
Ngai wajile.
Oh.
I speak. Ngaya nga wara wara wura gaya babrao ni nga mamang.
Oh.
I speak to a mighty creator.
Oh.
Mama. Ngiyar gaya na. A babrang ngiya nga baigar ngiya nga wuru wuru gaya na babrong ngiya na. Ngaya na babra niya gayan. Nga jagun na.
Oh.
Mubor gaya na ngoy malagaya na babrong ngiya na. Wuram gaya na ngoy malagay. Bugal na again. A babrong nga ngoy na.
Oh.
I call for the Holy Mighty One to come down.
Oh.
As he walks the Milky Way, the shores of the Milky Way, of the sleeping emu, to give us guidance, to give us strength, as we are his children.
Oh.
We are his eyes, his caretaker for the sacred planet that he adjusted for us from an unknown universe. Wara wara gaya na babra ni gaya na babra na wara. Universal language, song, and story need to be shared. To protect our mystical waterways, to heal the people.
Mm.
The mystical waterways are our gardeners, the best gardeners in the world. They give us abundance of food,
Oh.
abundance of knowledge, and abundance of gifts to share to our neighboring tribes.
Oh.
And to share to the holy ones that give us the gift of a shared vision in our vision quest as we sleep.
Oh.
So he gave us 3 laws, 3 sacred laws. The original law that was given to us from birth. A sacred unification that gives us communication with the oneness of law. As we speak in holy words from the oneness that give us the original law again. And then we shall unite. And then we should share the knowledge to our future generation of our grandchildren. Woman law is very sacred. Men law is very sacred. Woman law, very good understanding and share the knowledge of the original law that was given by the oneness, that is given to man. Man gives on life and share the abundance of the understanding with truth and trust to the future for our children and our grandchildren. So our law belongs to who we are, our songline, our bloodline that creates our family kinship line that comes back to the oneness of celebration of all understanding between woman law and between men law. Very sacred law for our people to understand for the future of our babies. And it's very sacred for us to maintain the sacred riverways that runs to the sacred ocean that will give us life once again. Our
Oh,
sacred geometry
oh,
of our dreaming that can never ever be confused and never get interrupted ever again for the future for our babies.
oh, 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 oh.
The holy waters started from a single raindrop, created mystical waterways for
Oh,
the love and unite of unity that creates a gift of mystical waterways, the heart of our country will always be drawn in the sand that gives
oh,
us life.
oh,
Eyes in the sky is sacred. Our love for the land is back to the original law of oneness. Ngayon na kayan yabra. Bula bela ka. Bela bela bula ka. 1, 2, 3 law we live by. The original law. Wana be nga origin na. No stealing. Wana be nga jangwang be nga wala wajale kaya na jongwana nga. No more telling lies. Wana be nga balani kaya na nga. No more killing. So we live by them laws, 3 law, to give us truth that shines from the soul, to let our soul shine like gold. And then we got truth and trust among the loved ones, our neighboring tribes, and our family kingship is always going to be our symbol of life. Trust is tribal righteousness under true honor, is original law. The trust that we give from the original law is tribal righteousness under sovereign tribes. So sacred. Ngayon na wajiledi. Ngayon nga yabar ngayon nga jagango. My story belongs into the earth. My written language belongs to the future of next generation. Caring for our country, caring for our language, and caring for our great-great-grandchildren and many more to come.
oh.
So I would like to share that
Oh,
with you and the rest of the people from around the world of many rivers as it flow from my mountains to your mountains.
oh,
Mystical waterways.
oh,
Nanyanga jagango. Na yabra nga. It started with a single raindrop. Nia kaya na bana be kaya na jagungar.
oh,
Flowed over the highest mountain. Mura kaya na jagungar kaya na buddha ni. It flowed through the deepest valley to the great blue sea. Nyaya kaya na babro kaya na wabur. Nu kaya na kaya jagan nuna. Yerobon nga jagunga. When a wave comes crashing down, it's just a memory. Then it rolls up onto the shore of the spirit land, then washes away.
oh,
Nyaya kaya na kaya buddha nga yabur kaya wajile na. Niya nga Yerobon nga jagunga. Nga buga ban. When the tides are turning, they're walking and talking. And then it rolls up into the shore of the spirit land and then washes away. When thunder and lightning rolls on by, Mugana Gayana, Babru Gayana, Yoarga, Nia Gayana, Wajale Gayana, Mugania Wajalga, Na Burga, Nala Bumbingiaga, Acha Par Gayana, Yoang, Nia Guyana Jagunda. When lightning and thunder rolls on by, there is singing and dancing. When the thunder rumbles, he's singing and talking to you. When the lightning flashes, She's a dancing to you. And then it rolls on by, back to the mountainside. Nga wajale nga yawar nga jagandu. Nga bugul ma nga jagan. The goodness of our country. Nga nga na balon nuga. We're mystical waterways. Nga burugayan na jugul nga yokombe na ga wana. It will wash away the saddest, baddest pain that was ever thought of. The baddest memory that was ever thought of. It will wash away to the great blue sea, where it will set us free. Nga borgayan na mamangge na bugul manga. Nga nga wara na babrone. Bugul nga. It's like my morning word of prayer.
Oh,
From my mighty creator, Kon Mamang, the older brother of the three brothers of our creation story here in the Banjalang. The three laws that we hold, the understanding of Yabran, the second oldest brother, Mamang, the older brother, he holds the original law, and then the baby brother, Biran. Biran is what we call the Star of David, our morning star, the baby brother. So we live by these three laws. Yabran, Mamang, and Biran. Big brother is always the original law, always eyes in the sky upon our people. From the four corners to the seven wonders, our language is written, universal, and is spoken and given from the original lawman, from the eyes above, to give us the oneness of the understanding of love of our law. L-O-R-E, love one another, respect each other. Bugul Bear, mean good, thank you for sharing. And thank you for sharing your stories.
Wow. What a powerful, powerful video. It was really something. I want to acknowledge Janice Hall. You know, we are the Global Peace Tribe, and more of you are coming forward and saying, hey, do you know about this elder or this wisdom keeper, or this musician? And so Janice Hall is a longtime friend of Saturday Night Live. I'm putting the spotlight on you there, Janice. And she has really helped put the show together as well. And especially with Uncle Lewis. So Janice, welcome, and tell us a little bit about Uncle Lewis and a little bit about the Circle of Hope.
Well, I've been working with Uncle Lewis for a year now, and I met Auntie Anne through Uncle Lewis, and she and I share a name, Anne, my middle name, so we are, as she informed me, we are Kumbali, which is sisters, and I'm really honored for that. As you all know, can you show the graphics next to me so people have a visual of the Circle of Hope?
Sure. It's going to be primarily showing the graphic, but you'll
okay, I didn't see that. Okay.
A little bit.
Oh, okay. I can't see that. So, you know, it's been hundreds of years of colonization, as you know, and the First Nation Aboriginal people have been uprooted from everywhere they have landed, very similarly to the Native Americans and other indigenous people all over the planet. And so Uncle Lewis wants to establish this circle of hope. Now, this picture you see, this is just an example, and I chose it because it had the Aboriginal flag colors. But what this is to really symbolize is that, you know, home is transient. And it may be a spiritual journey to search for our true home throughout the course of our life, as it says here, you know, through our family, through our friends, through the different places that we touch and the different people that we touch. But the end result really, when we rise to the true nature of who we are, is to recognize that home is where you carry your soul. And so this is going to be a place where people can meet and pray and convene and acknowledge moving forward in their next journey towards finding their true home. And I put a little map here, since many may never have heard of Jubileum, which is the Aboriginal land camp in Tabulum, which, as you can see here, is southwest of Byron Bay and way southwest of the Gold Coast, just to give you a sense. So any monies we raise for Uncle Lewis tonight will go directly to building this healing garden for all of the community in the Jubulum Aboriginal community. And
Thank you so much, Janice. Really, really appreciate all your help and being a big, wonderful part of Global Peace Tribe. Thank you.
yeah, thank you.
And speaking of Global Peace Tribe and thanks, I want to take a moment.
Oh, one other thing, very quickly. Uncle Lewis isn't here. He tried very hard to be here. He was bitten by a snake. And so he almost was here, but he was feeling too ill. And I thought it really potent that Sergio earlier took us on a journey through the serpent, and Auntie Anne will also address the journey of the serpent. So there's serpent energy that's flowing directly through the course of this evening. And I think it's important to listen to that and see through deep listening what it tells us. That's all.
Yeah, thank you for that. And let's just all take a moment with our power as the Global Peace Tribe. Let's just take a moment of silence and send healing energy to that beautiful, beautiful man. I'll pull his photo back up again, to Uncle Lewis. And here's his photo. Let's just take a moment and everybody in your own way, send a prayer, send a blessing, maximum grace for Uncle Lewis. Maximum grace for Uncle Lewis. Maximum grace for Uncle Lewis and the Aboriginal world community that he represents. Maximum grace. Thank you, everybody, and thank you again, Janice Hall. And I get to say thank you to some of the people who have donated. A lot of you are donating anonymously, but I want to thank, well, Janice Hall was one of the first people to donate, so thank you, Janice Hall, for donating tonight. Thank you, Christy Michaels, our dear friend, Bobby, Jeffrey Colebrook, Laura Chasmer, Lisa Dollar, Bobby Lopez, Christy Michaels, again, Heather Hall, thank you, Heather, Rubina Kirkness, Val Bigelow, a lot of anonymous people, Sheila Laffey. Sheila, you're always so generous. Thank you very much. Deborah Griffin, more anonymous people, Margie Biller, Julian Lazana, and more anonymouses. So thank you, everybody. Please continue to bring those donations in. And again, we'll put back up the link of how you can donate. You can also Mail checks. We're putting that in there. You can mail checks to the Path at 3103 North Maywood Avenue, Boise, Idaho, 83704. I'm going to say it one more time for anybody who's listening, but not able to read our, because if you're not in the Zoom room, it's hard to get the links. So if you want to mail a check, send it to the Path, make it out to the Path, and mark it or address it to 3103 North Maywood Avenue, Boise, Idaho, 83704. And put on the check SNA, Saturday Night Alive, so we know that it's going to be dispersed to our wonderful elders here. I am really looking forward to playing this next video. And while I play it, it's all about appreciation, abundance, the miracles of our life, of being part of this great global peace tribe. It's one of my favorite videos that Jay has put together. And maybe while you're watching this might inspire you, if you haven't donated yet, to donate. So here we go. And let's just drop into the beautiful consciousness of this video. Abundance for all.
Thank you
Maximum,
for blessing everyone watching
miracles
this
every
with
day.
your best blessings for everyone.
Blessings for all.
Thank
Saturday
you for
night
blessing
alive.
everyone watching this
Everyday
with your best
miracles.
blessings
Everyday miracles.
for everyone.
Miracles for the global peace tribe.
Abundance. Watch Saturday
Abundance.
Night Alive every Saturday night.
Maximum grace for all. Maximum grace for all. Radiant health for all.
Thank you for blessing everyone watching this with your best blessings for everyone.
That's fun. Good job, Jay. Thank you so much. Well, it's time for the Global Peace Tribe announcements, which is, again, more and more. We have like certain regular parts of our show. And again, here's another Jay video to get us started with that. We are going to have to fix that video because I always start off the Global Peace Tribe announcements. I'm not Deborah, I'm Scott, but Deborah will be here in about 3 minutes. I always like to start off, though, our Global Peace Tribe announcements by thanking all of the people that are carrying us. Of course, a lot of you in the Zoom room with us, but thousands of you are watching on Facebook. And it's through our broadcast partners. So a big thank you to our friends at Unify. That's where we get our largest international audience. I notice we have a lot of people from Canada with us today, and a lot of people who watch the replay. So those of you watching the replay or watching via Unify, welcome, and we really appreciate our friends at Unify. Also want to thank John and Summer Raymer and the Sign Network. They make sure that we get out to about 100 to 150 Facebook pages and groups. So a lot of you are watching us that way. Alan Steinfeld, our good buddy. We're going to be doing a special event with Alan, which you're going to hear about in just a minute. He always carries us on his YouTube channel. And of course, Jay and Jan and our friends at Light Touch that sponsors so many of our shows. We also want to thank our friends at New Earth One, my company, Love Coach Academy, Earth Dance Global, Humanities Team, Portal to Ascension, Disclosure Fest, Global Days of Unity, Earthwalk United, and our newest broadcast partner, the Enlightened World Network. Many of you watched my Sacred Sunday show last week, where I had Ruth Anderson, who created and runs Enlightened World Network on, and she's great, and she's doing really, really wonderful work. So thank you. And again, thank you to those of you who donate when you register. And thank you to those of you who are donating today to our Indigenous elders in the path. And for those of you watching on Unify or Facebook or YouTube, there's still plenty of time. Come on into our Zoom room. All you got to do is go to globalpeacetribe.com. That's globalpeacetribe.com. And you can register. It only takes a minute. And it's really, really a good thing. Coming into our Zoom room, it's easier for you to chat with us, chat with the speakers, get the announcements. Plus, once we have your email address, we can send you the replays of the show, not just this show, but the 58 shows we've already done, and all the announcements about our special projects. There's a lot going on, so you want to be part of our Global Peace Tribe. And again, want to thank Jay and Jan. They've done such a great job with this show. I'm going to put them on one more time. And as I put the spotlight on Jan, and as I put the spotlight on Jay, I want to just ask all of us maximum grace and appreciation to Jan. She did a lot for this week's show. And maximum grace to my friend Jay, who's just in the other room down the hall. He's visiting. And tomorrow is Jay's 70th birthday. So we're going to have a really big celebration. My Sacred Sunday show at 10 o'clock in the morning is going to be dedicated to Jay. And you know what? Usually we do this in Global Peace Tribe Recommends, but I'm jumping the gun. I am going to just pull up briefly, and we'll mention it again during Global Peace Tribe Recommends. But there it is. It's the man's 70th birthday tomorrow. So join us for a very special online party. We've got music and some magic and all sorts of surprises. So that's 10 o'clock in the morning, Pacific time. And if you can't join us right now, send a blessing, send a prayer for Jay and his next 70 years. Those first 70 years were pretty good, but we're really excited about the next 70 years. Thank you so much, Jay and Jan. We love you guys a lot. And it's now my pleasure to turn it over to my partner, my co-host, the one and only Deisree.
Thank you, Scott. What a great show with so much heart, so much wisdom. I also want to give a lot of gratitude to the presenters that are coming from all over the world, and especially to Jan, who coordinated all this. It's a lot to do, but it's going so beautifully. I'm so honored. And I have a special request for all of you. I'd love for you to share about Saturday Night Alive. As you know, word of mouth is golden. So please tell your friends, send out the emails that we send to you, send out the replay. We have a promo video that's really incredible. I'm going to put that link in the chat room. Send that to people with our link to sign up, globalpeacetribe.com, and that will help us spread this light and love continually around the world that's been so wonderful for so many people. And what you can also do is surprise someone you love with a gift subscription. So I'm going to put that link in the chat room as well. We call it Pay It Forward. So you can just surprise someone with a subscription, sign them up with their email, and then they'll get the Zoom link every week like we send out with this next Saturday show and the whole schedule. So thank you so much for helping us to spread the word. And we're going to share a little bit more about our next season. We've got 8 more shows. Next week, again, is an incredible show. Sacred Magic, Integration of Divine, Feminine, and Masculine. And what we're talking about is the masculine and the feminine really coming together now and working at a high sacred level, whether it's romantic, whether it's collaboration, whether it's brother and sister. This is the time for us to come together. And whether it's within ourselves, our own masculine and feminine within us. And we've got incredible presenters again for next week. Scott, do you want to show that video that we'll share with them about next week?
Absolutely. I got it right here. There we go. And thank you to Lindsay and Jay and Jan for putting this together. Wow, that's going to be a great show.
Another great show. And the next week after that, I'd love to share, May 15th is going to be another incredible show. We partner every season with Global Coherence Pulse, Teresa Collins. The theme will be Becoming an Island of Coherence and Pulsing the Planet with Love. We are going to feature Bruce Lipton, also Chris Decker of Uplift, Claudia Weiss of Ions, Elijah Parka, Gary Malkin, the musician, Nikki Gehring. Again, it's going to be another incredible show. And Scott, would you like to announce the rest of the season?
Yeah, on May 22nd, in fact, that entire weekend, we're doing a whole weekend full of shows all about the very important issues of addiction, recovery, and suicide prevention. I want to thank our good friend Jerry Anderson, he's the wild abbot that you see dancing to some of our videos. He's always with us every week. Jerry's helping to sponsor that show. And we've got some amazing people, including Russell Brand and Gabor Mate. So definitely join us. On May 29th, our good friend Mark Sims, who you're about to see, is doing a show, Making Contact with Our Galactic Family. We're going to have a lot to present that night. And he's bringing on some of his friends like Whitley Streiber, Ellen Steinfeld, and many people who may not be famous, but they've had incredible experiences of making contact. On June 5th, Lori Grace is sponsoring a show on brain fitness and how it can optimize our life. And June 12th is really going to be a fun one. We are celebrating the Harmony Festival, also previously known as Health and Harmony. Deborah did this festival for over 30 years. And so it's a combination of celebrating that festival, which was always the second weekend of June, and also the 60s and the rise of the Aquarian Age. And wait till you see who Jay and Jan and Deborah have found to come on and talk about the 60s. It's going to be amazing. We always do a show for the solstice and the equinox. Our June 19th show is going to include one of our favorite speakers, Matt Kahn. And then on June 26th, Jay and Jerry are collaborating to sponsor Building Our Harmonious Future with Indigenous and Spiritual Wisdom. So again, we have a great season planned. We're very excited about it. And if you haven't registered yet, please do register. You know, a lot of you registered for free because we offer it for free. But now that you know how wonderful we are, and now you know all that we're doing, please come on back and donate to us so we can continue to grow this, because we're going to be doing a lot of extra special events and continuing to put together wonderful shows every week. And I believe that this is the segue for me to talk about May 4th. May the 4th be with you. We are really excited about a special event that we are co-hosting with our good friend Mark Sims and Alan Steinfeld. May the 4th be with you. We are launching international, worldwide, every year, Making Contact Day. Yep, this Tuesday night, May 4th, is going to be the Worldwide Making Contact Day. So we're providing, free of charge, a special event for our Global Peace Tribe family. Now, if you're already registered with us, you'll get a link sent to you by email. But if you haven't registered yet, please register so that we can get you involved. There's also a special registration if you want, which we'll put in the chat box to come on board. This is going to be from 7 till 10 p.m. Pacific time, 7 till 10 p.m. Pacific time. And to give you kind of a better sense of it, I've got a really fun video put together by Mark Sims. Here we go. Let's take a look at it. Let's see what Mark's got for us.
In the Sedona Desert, at a secret location, an unprecedented event is taking place. May 4th is Making Contact Day. with your hosts, Scott Katamas and Deborah Giusti. Along with author Alan Steinfeld, who is celebrating May 4th with the release of his new book, Making Contact: The New Realities of Extraterrestrial Existence. And the executive producer of Making Contact Day, Mark Sims. Join us as we make history live on Zoom. May the 4th be with you. Register at http://tinyurl.com/may-4-registration.
And we have made contact with Mark Sims. Hey, brother Mark.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Scott and Deborah, for inviting me to be on the show tonight to make this announcement. I'm quite excited about it. Alan Steinfeld is announcing his new book tomorrow, and it officially launches and becomes available and shipping on May 4th, which is Contact Day. You know, this is a very serious subject, actually. I personally have had a life-altering experience in which I had a face-to-face contact with an extraterrestrial back in 2012, and it changed my life. And as a result, I am working to try to make the world a better place. We have a lot of challenges in our world today. And of course, I love this program that you're doing. Indigenous wisdom, and you know, many of the people here are well aware that much of the indigenous wisdom about origins of cultures around the world involves coming from the stars. And so you know, this is a apropos time to make this announcement, and I hope everyone can join us. It's a 3-day event. It'll start, but the main event is Contact Day, which is May 4th.
Fantastic. And again, just so everybody knows, this is happening in the Sedona Desert. And so we're going to have Mark, who's in Sedona right now, and Deborah is in Sedona. And I'm a little envious, I must say, but and Sedona is such a magical place. So there's still time for any of you who live close, head out to Sedona. And what are some of the things that are going to be happening, Mark, before Tuesday night?
Well, starting tomorrow from 2 to 6, Alan is having his launch event at the Unity of Sedona Church. And that after that, at 7, I will be going out into the desert to start my meditation practice, to call in the ships. And we actually will be doing this over a 3-day period. For those of you that probably aren't aware, that what makes this an unprecedented event is that we are doing a live Zoom event. We have 3 cameras connected to night vision scopes. These are high-end military grade Gen 3 scopes. And so if we see something, you're going to see it. This has never been done before. And we have 3 simultaneous cameras from 3 different angles. So if we capture something, you're going to get 3 different angles of this. And I've hired professional videographers to man each of these cameras. And I'll be inviting people who have videos to share, stories to share, and we will be also including people from around the world that do CE5 events. And these are events in which they meditate for the purpose of initiating human contact with our ET friends and star family. So this is going to be a really special event. Travis Walton is here. He'll be here for that for tomorrow. as well as JJ and Deisree Hurtak, the authors of the Book of Enoch. So it's a really special event.
Beautiful. Well, thank you, Mark, for putting it all together and all that you invest. That video is fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, I thought you would enjoy that.
And you know, for anybody who doesn't really know, when Mark leads his meditation process, magic happens. Now, if we're lucky, that magic might include having direct contact. It may be the walkie-talkies that he's created or that he's, learned how to communicate with goes off. At the very least, people talk about having a deep inner experience. Mark, look at this man. I mean, he clearly is, if there's an earth angel in human form, it's Mark Sims. Look at this beautiful soul. And his vibration, it's true, Mark. And your vibration, when we tap into your vibration, what you've experienced, your dedication, our entire energy field rises. So for the lucky ones in Sedona, my gosh, be there. And for the rest of us, we're going to be tuning in live on Zoom, and we're going to have a really wonderful evening. So thank you so much, Mark.
Thank you. Thank you. And it's wonderful. The program tonight is wonderful. I wish I could stay. I have to go. But I just think you guys are doing such important work, bringing this knowledge and wisdom to the world. And I salute you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mark. Thank you. And there's still more. So just to give you a little taste of what is still to come, here we go.
So yes, we love our music and our shows because we take in the information and the vibrations, and the music takes us to another level. And that's why we keep inviting Sister Stone back. Her music is incredibly earth-based. Her heart and her mission is for the earth, and it comes through her music. And so Sister Stone, thank you for coming back and doing another song for us and taking us into that incredible heart prayer vibration. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you again, everyone. It's always and continues to be a deep honor to be here, especially amongst all of you and this powerful Indigenous wisdom here. I'm so inspired and grateful and humbled by your wisdom and your love and your prayers and your music and your teachings. And I hold it with deep regard and respect. So thank you. So I have this song to share, and the song is called Relations, and it's the title track off of my last EP called Reciprocal Relations. And this song for me is really honoring our creator, honoring our Mother Earth, and kind of a bit putting us into check a little bit in terms of, how to show up in life, how to walk in a good way. And one of the teachings that I've received through elders in my life is, when we make prayers for our life, that it's really important to stay behind those prayers. So like, say if you ask for something that you want, it's not just going to come to you. It's if you make that request or you set that intention, it's very important to stay responsible and impeccable with staying behind what it is that you're asking for, and not losing sight of what you're asking your creator for, because it's a big responsibility to request things, right? And so, I've had to learn this over the years, and there's a lot more, there's a lot of deep messages in this song. So I look forward to sharing it with you and get your groove on too, of course. So here we go. Get right behind that. I get right behind that. I get right behind that. I get right behind that. Follow it, see where it goes. Stay true, stay on the road. Make your offering, reciprocal feeling. Let it sing, let your heart ring. Be in bright relation, good vibration. Life is sweet, all that water brings. So much to be thankful for. Focus on the prayer, water, wind, fire, air. Holy Creator, Mother Earth. Father Sky, walk with you side by side. Holy Creator, Mother Earth. Father Sky, walk with you side by side. Holy Creator, Mother Earth. Father Sky, walk with you side by side. Holy Creator, Mother Earth. Father Sky, walk with you side by side. Yo, there's a higher power and they hear sincerity. Speak your prayers, cry your tears, specificity. This road of life is rugged, it will put you to the test. It will bring you out, love you down to your essence. Get down on your knees, close to Mama Earth. Think about your loved ones, put your family first. It's all about relations and how we tend to them. Reciprocal relations, human and non-human kin. Holy Creator, Mother Earth. Father Sky, walk with you side by side. Holy Creator, Mother Earth. Father Sky, walk with you side by side. Holy Creator, Mother Earth. Father Sky, walk with you side by side. Holy Creator, Mother Earth. Father Sky, walk with you side by side. Yo, always ask permission, only take what you need. It's time to flip the script of this capitalist greed. Pay her close attention, spread around the seeds. Voices to the marginalized, empowerment to lead. Feed the holy with your tears, beautiful words and poetry. Listen and respect of all living beings. I came here to remind you, you are of the earth. The more we reconnect, the more we find our worth. Holy Creator, Mother Earth. Father Sky, walk with you side by side. Holy Creator, Mother Earth. Father Sky, walk with you side by side. Holy Creator, Mother Earth. Father Sky, walk with you side by side. Holy Creator, Mother Earth. Father Sky, walk with you side by side. Holy Creator, Mother Earth. Father Sky, walk with you side by side. Holy Creator, Mother Earth. Mother Earth, I walk with you. Ooh, all right.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You know, I love how your message is essentially the same message as we heard from Uncle Lewis, the Aboriginal leader, as we heard from Chief Phil. You know, there's just like this one overall message, and you deliver it so beautifully. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you for becoming such a big part of our Saturday Night Alive Global Peace Tribe family. We love you very much.
Oh, we love you. I love you too.
And you know, again, you guys go to sister-stone.com, sister-stone.com. And you've got some new music out. What's the best way for people to get you new music?
So I'm on all major streaming platforms. If you use iTunes or Spotify or whatever you use, you can just search Sister Stone, and all my music is there for free, or you can purchase it on Bandcamp to support me as an artist. But it's all free and available, and I am releasing a new single in 2 weeks as well. So if you want to stay in contact and in touch with me, the best way is to follow me on Instagram if you use Instagram, or join my newsletter. Otherwise, yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll see you again soon. I know that. All right. I've got a really fun video to show you. 3 guesses who made it. Oh, thank you, Jay. Thank you, Light Touch, for those beautiful videos. So we've been talking a lot about grandmother Flor de Mayo and her seed project. And there's a video that I'm going to show now, which is where grandmother explains more about the seeds. And so this is really important for us to watch and to learn all about this wonderful work that she's doing that you're helping to support through your donations tonight. Here's grandmother Flor de Mayo.
Greetings to everybody. Grandma Flor de Mayo here in New Mexico. I'm sending love and light to everyone at this moment as you are attending the Saturday Night Alive. Greetings to everybody. I'm so happy to be speaking to you at this very, very moment. I'm sending greetings out into the 4 directions. Wanted to share with you what I've been doing here in New Mexico. I have a nonprofit called The Path, and at The Path we save heirloom seeds, and also I've had the beauty of building some temples for humanity. And so I have temples there that represent the 4 sacred elements of life. We've had many, many people come down and visit us, anywhere from as far as Alaska all the way down to the tip of South America. So we've had many, many visitors coming from all over the 4 directions. And a few years ago, I've had the great honor of meeting a group that came down. They were traveling in the Southwest. And this is the first time that I actually met grandmother Muatu. And grandmother Muatu and I, it was like an instant knowing or acknowledgement of grandmother's sisters on the path. And so she has visited the path a few times. We did a gathering called a Gathering for Humanity. We meaning the path did. And grandmother Muatu was one of the presenting elders. Also, I had the opportunity of traveling with Grandma Muatu on several occasions. And one of the times that we were together, that we spend a lot of time together, was at the Parliament of World Religion in Salt Lake. So I wanted to share with everyone this relationship and this friendship that I have with grandmother Muatu. I also, because we have had the doors opened at the path, we've had other groups of grandmothers come down and visit us there at the path. And so it has been a meeting place here in New Mexico.
And although grandmother can't be with us, I'm so grateful. Her daughter, Heather, is such a sweetheart. And Heather does so much to help our show, to help grandmother. And so it's my honor to bring on grandmother's daughter, Heather.
Oh, thank you so much, Scott. And thank you, Deborah and Janice and Jay and everyone that's making this possible. And I wanted to introduce Grandma Muatu, great grandmother Muatu. She's such a dear friend of my mom and mine. You know, they travel around with the grandmothers of the Sacred We, and her and another grandma, Grandma Ayla, came and stayed at the Path. We went to Sedona. We did a whole tour. I drove them across the country, and we just have so much fun. So I hope sometime, if you ever have the time to meet her in person, you know, please go do that. I also had the opportunity to go to Egypt with her. So it was really special. I feel like she's my other mom. But anyways, Grandma Muatu, she's joining us from New Zealand. She is from the Maori heritage. And in light language, Moitu Teha, it means I stand for my dreams and in my power. Moitu's professional portfolio holds a wealth of knowledge with her focus on working with the cellular system. Her expertise is providing transformational workshops that provide a framework for inner exploration and empowerment by bridging the gap between spirituality, rationality, and emotions. Moitu is a founding member of the Grandmothers of the Sacred We. And that's the organization that actually came down to stay with my mom. And we've been in Michigan at Omega together, the Parliament of World Religions. And we just love you, Moitu. And I wish I was there in New Zealand with you. And Mom sends you a big hug. So until we get to have you in New Mexico again. So thank you so much. And I'm so happy she was on the show with us. So thank you.
Oh. Is it gonna stay? Well, Heather, that was a big mouthful. Kia ora, everybody. Kauaiaho, who am I? Maunga Pohatu is my mountain. It's my maunga. My tātua is my waka, my canoe. Tauranga rawa ko Pakatane, te awa, they're my rivers. Turawera is my kaina. Turawera is my home. Tūhoi rawa ko Kahununu, ngā iwi. Tūhoi and Turawera and Kahununu are my tribes. Aotearoa, te whenua. I come from Aotearoa, New Zealand. Maunga Pohatu, my mountain is my spine. My ancestors. My rivers are my bloodline that flows through my veins. My body is my land. It's my people, my ancestors. Ko Moitu Taiha aho. I am Moitu and I am Taiha. So from my mountains, my rivers, my home, my land, and all that I am, I greet you and all that you are. In my culture, we're very much brought up from babies to understand that we come from the land, that we are the land, and also that we are star seeds. We come from the stars. So we have both understandings of who we are and where we're from. which keeps us connected to the heavens and to Papatūnuku, or Mother Earth. When I just like to share a little ritual that I do, because I traveled before the COVID lockdown a lot throughout the planet, and I lived in Germany for almost 8 years. And one of the things that when I did travel, I was actually asked by my ancestors, my loved ones, to go and share the message of us as a people and the healing of our planet. And when I first went to America, I was so homesick. I was really missing my land because I love New Zealand. I love my home. And my cousin actually said to me, you know, whereabouts are you? I said, I'm outside. She said, lie down on the ground. So I did. And she said, are you looking up? And I said, yes. She said, you see the sky? I said, yes. And she said, turn over. And so I turned over. She said, you can feel Papatūnuku, Mother Earth? I said, yes. She said, we have the same sky. We have the same planet. He's our father and she's our mother. Doesn't matter where we are on this planet. We're connected. And so that's how I've been able to travel so much. And my cousin was able to tell me this because it was something she also learned when she had to travel. But I want to share a little ritual with you because today's theme seems to be about water. My mountain and my rivers and my land, because we actually, our mountain, Mauna Pohatu, has been identified as an entity. Our country was the first to name a part of our land as us. Our mountain and our land is us. It's an entity. And so when I come home from any traveling, I always go home. I go home to my mountain, my river, my land. But one of the things I do is that I start calling as I'm driving. And I'm letting them know I'm coming home. I'm bringing myself back to be washed, to be cleansed by the winds of our mountain and the energy of our land, my ancestors. And so once I get there, because it's in a really rugged place, you have to really be committed to getting to where I come from. And when I get to the river, I'm already calling her. I'm telling her that I'm coming home. I've already acknowledged my mountain. I've already told him that his grandchild, his descendant is home, and I'm needing healing. I'm needing to be fortified by all that I am. And so as I go to the river, I introduce myself again. I tell my river, my awa, my blood, that it's me. I'm coming home and I am coming to become one. And so before I step into the water, I'm doing this. And then when I take my first step into the water, I'm saying, here's my introduction. And so I'm doing a prayer all the way in. And I am doing the prayer so that I am actually becoming part of what I'm saying is actually what I'm feeling. I'm integrating the whole thing. And so that by the time I'm in my river, by the time that I'm going under, I'm saying to her, and now I become one with you. And what that does, what that feels for me is that the water is flowing through me. I have become my river. I have become her and she has become me. And believe me, my river comes from the mountains, so it's freezing, freezing cold. But because I've done this ritual, because I've done this prayer, I don't feel the cold. And it is such a big part of who I am and my people of Tūhoe. Is our land of Tūrewera is very much such an important part of us as we are of our land, of any land. And so my biggest message has always been about looking after self, caring for self, because we are her. Everything that is happening with her is as a result of what we've done. And so the healing that is happening for her, she's shaking off everything. She's clearing up everything. She's able to. We have to clear up ourselves. We have to be more aware of ourselves because we are the ones in between. And so this understanding of not only just clearing the body, but clearing the cellular system of all traumas that has happened in our ancestors, because we are our ancestors. They are us and we are them. And so anything that has happened in their time, it's up to us to clear it, to heal it, to make it better by making ourselves better. My mahi, my work, mahi is the name for work, but mahi means clear, and he is to stand strong. And so by me standing strong, me believing in myself and that I am my mother, I am my father, my grandmother, my grandfather. So everything that they are, I represent, I am them. And so, and this is what we're learning along the way. I was brought up where I had to sit at I was brought up by my father and my uncles and my grandfathers, by men. And my job was actually to sit at the feet of the men and to observe, to hear what was being said. And it wasn't hearing with these ears, it was hearing with this, with the body, to resonate, to feel what was being said, to feel everything, to wake up the system. This is Mother Earth. I am Mother Earth, and I'm healing, just like all of you are healing. Everything that you are, all your ancestors, which actually we are putting back into our mother and up into our father. So by healing ourselves, which is creating the beacons, ourselves to be beacons of love and light, clearing ourselves actually makes the light brighter. We are love. Yeah? And the more we clear ourselves, the more healing we do on a collective scale. Because I'm like our brother ahead. I am very much Māori, and I'm glad that I'm Māori, but I am a child of God. I am a child of the universe. And this is why I don't choose to not wear the tāmoko, or, well, I have these, but it's a message that needs to be shared. And we work with the grandmothers. I work with these grandmother sisters. Really, really big, important mahi, big work. And I believe in what my sister Fledemaya does, because we are the seeds. We're the seeds. And what comes from us, what we plant here, is what our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren produce. So I don't want to take up too much time, because I want to hear my my neighbour sister, my Indigenous Aborigine sister has to say. But I thank you so much for this opportunity. So honoured. I feel so honoured. Yeah,
it's beautiful to have you with
having
us.
this space.
Absolutely beautiful to have you with us. And I do want to direct people to her website. It's her name. I'm going to spell it Moetutaiha. It's her name.com. Moe and
Moitu.
Moitu.
Yeah.
Moitu. Thank you.
Moitu Taiha.
Moitu Taiha.
Moitu. Yeah.
Beautiful. It's a very,
Yeah.
and I apologize for not pronouncing it perfectly.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Could I just say one more thing?
Of course.
If there is a payment for me, could you just pass it over to Fledemaya, because it's also, that it's my donation to the PAL.
Wow.
So kia ora.
Well, I'm bringing Heather on just to.
Oh, me too. You're gonna make me cry. I love you. Mom loves you.
I love you too.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah. I'll look over the island at you when I'm in Hawaii, Mom, and I will wave to you. It's the closest we'll be. Thank you.
What a beautiful global family, and to meet again every week we meet new members of our great global family, bringing their wisdom and their medicine. Thank you so much, Moitu. Thank you, Heather.
Pleasure.
Really beautiful. Really beautiful. It is my pleasure to bring back some music, and we'll bring back Pura Fe again. And we already did kind of an introduction, but something I want to acknowledge is there's a kind of a prejudice, a stereotypical idea that Indigenous people are kind of isolated and not connected. And what's amazing, if you really take a look at Pura Fe's background, she has worked with so many different cultures. She's an artist and an activist, but so much more. And she's studied with the American Ballet Theater and Martha Graham Dance Troupe. She's sung with the Mercer Ellington Orchestra. She's appeared in numerous Broadway productions. She won a French Grammy Award for Best World Album. She's released 5 solo albums on a French label, and she tours Europe in festivals and concert halls, when there's no pandemics, of course. And it goes on and on and on. She's been on soundtracks, broadcasts. She's worked on everything. She even worked on the soundtrack for Mission Impossible. So, this idea that an Indigenous musical artist is just kind of limited, you just blow that up, Pura Fe. Thank you so much. And thank you for blessing us with being on our show and bringing your incredible artistry to us. We're really honored to have you with us.
Thank you. Well, I'm going to pull out these 2 little songs. One's called Sacred Seed, and the the other one is Woman Sacred. So just kind of, I wasn't going to play my guitar tonight, but I figured these songs they belong to this evening. And can you hear that? Okay. I'll start with Sacred Seed first. And Sacred Seed is, it's my rendition or my way of telling the Iroquois or Haudenosaunee creation story. And where we do come from the sky. And the story that they tell, a lot of people call it Sky Woman Falling. But this is the way I'm telling the story in a little song. Sacred seed, DNA, the memory of all times. Mother's twin sons, recorded code, creates all the circles of life. Falling seed, plant and conceive, the up and down worlds collide. Over and over come the sacred birth, the blood earth sacrifice. A spinning orbit, Escanye, magnetosphere, dancing flight. I forgot the words. Expands Turtle Island, Pangea, stands Sky Woman, tree of light. Well, star, sun, and moon coincide, control ocean tides together. Thunder, rain, fire, and hurricane, four winds and begin forever. Within each seed is a universe, within a universe. You and me and everything that breathes is connected to the sacred sea. Wow! Sacred seed, DNA, the memory of all time. Mother's twin sons, recorded code, creates all the circles of life. I'm going to do the next part of the song on a drum, if you don't mind. It'll work better. Oh, let me. Oh, 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 young woman, delicate baby girl. She's the grandma, she's the mother of us all. sister, cousin, auntie, loving wife and friend. She's the first teacher and back to the earth womb again. She is the sacred door, life and death pass through. Nothing is born without female cycle, star, sun and moon. Beyond all worlds from the great mystery, she carries forth and brings in you and me. She deserves all the love and respect. Nothing comes close to her worth. She's our mother, she's our earth. We gotta lift up high, honor and protect. She gave life to everything. She's our whole universe. Yeah. She's a woman sacred. Well, she means everything to you and me. Woman sacred. Well, she's beautiful. You cannot cut down, change, stop or beat what creation intended her to be. Sacred earth, sacred woman, sacred tree. Well, she's beautiful, made to give life and choice to be free. Free from war, free from hate, free from man's possession, greed, exploit, and rape. When there's enough for her to feed and free the world, we gotta take care and teach all the baby boys and girls that she deserves all the love and respect. Nothing comes close to her worth. She's our mother, she's our earth. We gotta lift up high, honor and protect. She gave life to everything. She's our whole universe. There's a woman sacred. Well, she's beautiful. Everything to you and me. Woman sacred. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
oh my God. Thank you so very, very, very much. Again, Pura Fe's website is her name, PURAFE.com, purafe.com. And Auntie, I just want to let you know we're going to have you go on next. We're going to show your video of the serpent, and then we're going to have you come on. So just want to let you know, Auntie, that we kind of shifted our agenda a little bit so you don't have to wait any longer. Great. And everybody, again, go to purafe.com. What an amazing, amazing artist you are. And as somebody said in the chat box, she's also very humble, and that you are. Thank you, Pura Fe, for being with us. God bless you.
Thank you. Same to you.
All right. So our final speaker, to kind of introduce her, we're going to start by showing a video, and then Jan will tell you a little bit more about her and introduce her. But let's take a look at this video because it's very important to the work she's doing.
The ancient story of the serpent, the tree, and the spring goes back to the very beginning. It is where we all started. This is a story about water, and thus life. I'm known by many names across many lands. I am the singing rainbow serpent. I travel high up into the sky and down through the rain. I'm the 7 colors that radiate. I'm the river. I'm the sea. I'm adorned on the rocks and I'm laid on the ground. I'm respected by all save one, and yet my people still sing me, and I to them. The nations of Aboriginal people still hold tightly to our law, to our land, to our sea and to our sky. I sing this to you, singing the river law song, the Walangari, for people and for country.
Can't wait to see the whole movie of that. And boy, Auntie Anne is a force of nature. She's a Nikina Warwa. So I wanted to say that and pronounce it correctly, but it means a traditional. She's an Indigenous Australian, and she's from the Marduwarra Laura Fitzroy River in Western Australia. And here is where her work takes place. She has 3 master's degrees and a PhD, and she serves currently as the chair of the Martuwarra Fitzroy River Council and is an active Indigenous community leader, human and earth rights advocate. And she currently is fighting to protect the Fitzroy River, which I believe is what we see behind her and what we saw in the trailer. It's considered a living ancestral being, and she's trying to help save that from fracking. And so she's also a co-author and a signatory to the Redstone Statement prepared at the at the First International Summit on Indigenous Environmental Philosophy. And she also served as the inaugural chair of the First Peoples Water Engagement Council. So we're so honored, Dr. Auntie Anne Paulina, to have you here with us today. And you fit right in here with our global family and as an amazing protector of your river. So take it away and share a little bit with us tonight.
Ngajunu nila wala Paulina ngayo imara wala manen ngai nganda jara nyigena ngai nganga boro jugo. So yeah, hi. It's very, very interesting. I've actually just submitted a second PhD because the more I know, the more I don't know. And so my world is about a world of we, not me. And so my second PhD is about multi-species justice, that we as Indigenous people in this country and across the world have lived in harmony and peace with nature from the beginning of time. When we are born, we are given a sacred totem or an animal to teach us that animals can teach us how to be a good and decent human being. So from that work, what I say is I live in the Kimberley. When I introduced myself, I said, Ngayu imadawara manen, which means I am a woman who belongs to the Fitzroy River. So in terms of property rights, the river owns me. And I live by a law of obligation to not just protect the river's right to life, he's a living entity, but the river's right to live and flow. I was very humbled to hear Sergio introduce the conversation with the river in the Amazon, because many of you may know that the Pope Francis, has fallen in love with the Amazon and written a love letter to the Amazon. And my work that I'm doing with Laudato Si in the Vatican is exactly that. It is now looking at how do we look at what has been happening there to transform the work to Oceania. So my work is definitely about not just protecting my river, but the sacred rivers across the globe. So one of the things is I've been looking across the sea to the ocean to see what Maori people have been doing in New Zealand with the Wanganui or the Whanganui. And what we looked at was look at how do we push the boundaries of legal pluralism to recognize ancestral personhood, not personhood per se. Because when the lawyers came to us and they said, oh, there's this concept around legal pluralism and personhood, my elders said, our sacred ancestral being is not a human being. It is an ancestral being with its own entity that is guiding us through everything we do. So we come from a world of what we call first law, law of the land, not law of man. We come from a world of we, not me. We come from a world that has lived in harmony and peace with the Anthropocene. We have shaped the Anthropocene from the beginning of time. So in my world, we have concepts called Lian. Lian is your moral compass. It is what guides you through life. It teaches you about danger, where to go, who to talk to, where to wait in what we call the circle of time. Because as Indigenous people, we don't see time in a linear way. We see it in a circle. So we may start things in our lifetime that will not be finished in our lifetime. And so this is the work that I'm doing around not just protecting the sacred river that I come from, but the work that I'm doing is about protecting the sacredness of all rivers globally. One of the things I'm doing as an academic is that in all my work, the voice of the river is the first author. The river is the first author. It is the lead author. So a lot of my work has the voice of the river speaking, and I, as a guardian, are charged and changed in terms of my law of obligation, not just to rivers, not just to Indigenous people, but to human beings. So with all the qualifications, I say, when people say, how do we want to describe you? I say, as a human being. Because as a human being, we have been given a gift of reason, of logic, of intent. But most importantly, in sharing today, we come with ancient Indigenous wisdom. Our law came from the stars, but our governance is place-based. It is in the land. It is from nature that we learn values and ethics of care and love and attention, not just for each other as human beings, but for our non-human family. So very, very important to understand that what we are doing as Indigenous people globally is that we are gifting our wisdom to the world. Someone said to me, there is this group called Extinction Rebellion. And someone said to me, oh, Extinction Rebellion people say that if we are so stupid as human beings that we befall our own demise, Mother Earth will right size itself and heal. And quickly I said, yes, Mother Earth has the power to reinvent itself, to heal itself, but the planet would be lonely without the vibrations of human beings. And so from that perspective, what we say is that we live in a world of we. The Indigenous ancient wisdom that you hear today that has been shared across the world in the work that I do is showing very much that we need to go back to that. Very, very early in 1618, we had an Italian map maker who came to my land, and he wrote on a beautiful map that he painted of our region, Land of Peace. We have always operated from that perspective of peace. And we, despite being colonized and have enforced genocide and ecocide on us, we hold love in our heart. And what we are saying to our fellow Australians, and indeed the world, is that this is all of us. And I even sometimes am challenged by my own people, because I say, we are all indigenous to Mother Earth, that we come from a sense of place, that we are grounded in earth-centered governance that must hold the land. The land holds the law, not man. And so we need to go back to those teachings. We need to go back to that wisdom. We need to understand that the journey that we are on is about multi-species justice, that the birds, that the fish, that the trees all have a right to live and flourish, but most importantly, to realize that we have lived in a coexistence relationship with our non-human family, and that animals can teach us how to reach our full potential as human beings. And so from that perspective, yes, you know, I'm doing all this work. As I say, this is not a job, it is a destiny. I, you know, am working with so many amazing people across the planet because we truly need to listen to this Indigenous wisdom. I am so bold to say that unless Indigenous wisdom is factored into collective wisdom, we will not be able to right-size the planet. So we have a very, very, very short time in which we must gift our obligation back to the earth. We must sing with the birds. We must swim with the fish. We must do all of these things in unity. And so in closing, what I want to encourage is the film that we've made. There is a flyer coming on. We are showing that film in full. I drink the water because it is life. So excuse me, the film will be shown in full with an amazing concert. I am 15 hours ahead of you. So this is 2nd of May. Watch the website, come and sing and dance and have ceremony. And I want to close because in my closing, we say, wake up the snake. Wake up the snake means wake up the consciousness of the people to bring the people with us on this journey. It is through song, it is through dance, it is through ceremony, it is through our ancient laws and the wisdom that we hold collectively that is changing the balance of energy globally. And so I say this with a real challenge that we need to be looking at across the world, which is it is time to create peace with nature and with Indigenous people. Our survival as a planet and a species depends on that. And I really want to encourage you to come on, watch the film, celebrate in our songs and dance. We are screening it on the 16th of May, which is highly likely to be the 15th of May for many of you. But thank you. It has been an honor. It has been a gift. And my river and rivers around the world are watching to see what the humans are going to do. Thank you. Galia Mabo.
Thank you so much, Auntie. And I do want to remind people, let's all support The Serpent's Tail, this very, very important movie that you saw a little 2-minute trailer on. Again, the donations you make tonight are going to go evenly out to our presenters. And again, there's a wonderful website, martuwarafitzroyriver.org. I will spell it. I hope I pronounced it close to right. MARTUWARRAFITZROY River. martuwarafitzroyriver.org. And that's where you can learn more about the wonderful work that Auntie is doing. And I just want to read this. It's so beautiful. As the oldest living culture in the world, our dreaming comes through our ancient wisdom and shared lived experience. We are now at a crossroads to make decisions that will determine the future of the river. To we send out dreams of hope. So please go to that website, put in your email address, subscribe. It's so important for us to stay connected to the wonderful work that Auntie is doing. Thank you so much for being with us. And again, I want to thank Jan Kaplan and Janice Hall and Heather Hall. Boy, we've got Janice Kaplan and Heather Hall. And if they were to marry, you would get Janice Hall, who we also have. I don't know, that just came into my brain, noticed that. So I don't know, it's kind of an interesting little coincidence. Okay. Hey, it's time for the Global Peace Tribe Recommends. And this is where Deborah and I come on and share with you some of our favorite things that are happening. And I'm going to turn it over to Deborah to start us off.
Thank you, Scott. And again, incredible show. Thank you so much, Auntie Anne. You're amazing. Blessings, all of you. And what Scott and I have decided is we're going to be creating some additional creative experiences for you, workshops and other events, by inviting some of our presenters to come on and go deeper. And two of our favorite presenters, musicians, are Cornflower and Kristen Hoffman. And when they were on the show together a couple months ago, they said, gosh, we can't wait to work together. And then Scott and I said, yep, we can do that. And so we are creating an amazing event where they are going to perform, they're going to co-create and work together and do music together, but also share how they do their music with their creative channeling that they do, connecting with source and allowing creativity to come in. It's Sonic Source Activation with Kristen Hoffman and Cornflower. It's going to take place Sunday, June 6th at 1 p.m. Pacific time. And they're going to go very deep together, as well as it's going to be a dance event where you'll be able to hear more of their music and dance along. So it's going to be really incredible. I'll be posting that in the chat room. And always, if you sign up and register, you'll get our email, our replay email on Monday. And it's got all the links to donate to the nonprofit, to sign up for various things. So do sign up with us and you'll get all the links on email. And Scott, you have a couple more things to.
Well, we also have a video to play that Cornflower put together that gives you a little taste of what they're going to be doing. It's going to be really fun. You know, I have to admit, I was beginning to fantasize about what it would be like for Sister Stone and Pura Fe to come together and co-create. They both do such amazing looping with so much heart. So that was a fantasy I was having about tonight. So who knows, maybe we can talk them into that. Well, tomorrow is the day. It is Jay Mayer's 70th birthday. We want to make sure that everybody knows about it. Please join us. My Sacred Sunday show is really fun. And it's definitely very directly connected to what we do here on Saturday Night Live. Almost everyone that I have on the show, you've seen on Saturday Night Live, and it's a chance to go deeper. Well, we're going to celebrate Jay. We've got Fanny Starchild is going to come and play music. We've got, we're going to be doing Light Touch. I think Jay and Jan have something planned musically. It's going to be a really, really special time. So come join the party. Jay's 70th birthday party, 10 o'clock in the morning, Pacific time, 1 o'clock Eastern. And Deborah's putting into the chat box the link. And you can watch on Facebook. But it's really fun if you come into the Zoom room. And we're going to bring a lot of the Zoom room people on to share a testimonial or to talk with Jay or to embarrass him, you know, whatever you feel inspired. So please come into the Zoom room. You can watch on Facebook, but coming into the Zoom room is highly recommended. And then a reminder, you all saw a little bit, but I want to remind you that Tuesday night, May 4th, is when we're going to be doing the inauguration of Worldwide Making Contact Day. May the 4th be with you. And when I last checked, we had over 150 people who had already registered. And in addition to Mark Sims and Deborah and Alan and I, there are going to be a lot of celebrities coming in, celebrities in the kind of UFO making contact world. They're all in Sedona, but I'll be here with all of you online. And then Mark is going to lead a CE6, Close Encounter of the Sixth Kind, which is always very powerful, a deep meditation. So please don't miss it. Come join us. The registration link, it's free. This is a gift from Mark and Saturday Night Alive to you, so don't miss it. And it's a chance to really drop in and feel this powerful, ongoing, growing connection that's happening with our star family. It's happening, everybody. Our connection to the other world, to other realms, however you want to see it, whether you see it as spaceships in the sky or interdimensional connection, maybe it's connecting to the angelic realm. Jay Mayer's very connected to the angelic realm. So there's many ways that we can come together. And as Jesus said, where more than one are gathered, so am I. And so whether we're drawing upon Christ's consciousness or extraterrestrial galactic family, by coming together as Global Peace Tribe, magic happens. So do join us on Tuesday, June 4th. And finally, kind of speaking of kind of the magic that can happen as we all are cultivating more and more our intuitive side, our psychic side. Next Friday night's Straight Talk is featuring two of our favorite Saturday Night Alive presenters, Camille Moritz and Guinevere Bridge. You've seen them both on our show. They're everything. They're psychic, they're intuitive, they are tapped into other dimensions. Camille is who Deborah goes to for a lot of her guidance and connection. Guinevere is someone I've been working with for 25 years. She's the woman who connected to my wife after she died in amazing ways. And so they're going to be sharing with us how to cultivate psychic, intuitive abilities, some of the challenges that come with it. It's going to be a really beautiful show, and that's next Friday night. And we've just decided Straight Talk is always going to be 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. So that's going to be our consistent time now, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. So please do join us next Friday night. And that is our Global Peace Tribe recommends. Deborah, I'm going to bring you on. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Just that this is an amazing show, like always. At the end of the show, Scott and I are always in awe, and we never know how it's all going to come together, and this was just beautiful. So much gratitude to Jan for reaching out to all the elders, and of course, Jay and all the presenters were so amazing, so heartwarming. So gives us so much hope that we're all not only hearing the message, agreeing to it, and going to move it forward. So just so much love and light to everyone for creating this show and for being a part of this show.
Well, thank you, Deborah, for everything that you do to make it happen. Enjoy Sedona and send the vibe.
Yeah.
And we'll be with Deborah again on Tuesday night. So we're going to close with two videos. Just a reminder, here's a lovely video from Light Touch. again, thank you, Jay Mayer. Thank you, Light Touch. And I'm actually going to go to gallery view for a moment because I just want to acknowledge our friends that are still with us. Thank you, Jay and Jan. I love that if you merge Janice and Heather Hall, you get Janice Hall. I think that's really very cool. So I just have to play with those words again. And thank you really everybody for this beautiful, beautiful show. And I want to invite everybody, if you're watching on Facebook, please join the Global Peace Tribe. That's why I wanted to show that video. And let's share this out. There's so much wisdom, so much magic. So whether you're in our Zoom room or you're watching on Facebook, please take this video and spread it out, put it on your groups, put it on your homepage, share this video out with the world. I'll put into the chat box the link, the Facebook link. And then for those of you that have registered on Monday, you'll receive the YouTube video link. After the show's over, tomorrow we'll make a YouTube video out of it, and then we'll send that out to everybody on Monday who has registered with us. And for all of our presenters, we'll send it to you as well. We're going to close with a beautiful video created by Pura Fe. Pura Fe, do you want to tell us a little bit about the video that we're about to watch? Do you want to show us about that?
Pura Fe, do you want me to go ahead and do it? She asked me to do it, and I've been asking you for a while now that I should be introducing it. So
I missed that. I'm sorry.
No, I just wanted to try to end with this video, and I know Pura Fe's watching and waiting. And yeah, this is a really super video. Honor the Earth is a group. If you've heard of Winona LaDuke, and so she helped, her group helped to create this video, and Pura Fe came in and really got the video and put it into the form that it's in. But it's called No More Pipeline Blues. One of the couple things that I wanted to say about it is that it supports the ongoing fight against the Minnesota's Line 3 tar sands oil pipeline. And it's so pertinent from what we've been sharing tonight about our rivers and our water. This pipeline cuts through more than 200 bodies of water, including the Mississippi River. The resistance is heavily led by Indigenous women, including Winona LaDuke, and she spent the last 8 years trying to prevent the construction of Line 3. So in this video, you're going to be hearing not only Pura Fe, but Bonnie Raitt, Indigo Girls, and Joy Harjo, who we tried to get on our Indigenous Women Night, who's the 23rd Poet Laureate of the United States. Also Jennifer Kreisberg, who is in Eulalie. And anyways, you can find out more about it, but hopefully Scott's got it all queued up. And it's a really powerful video, and it's a great way to end the night. Thanks.
Ninga ishechike nebe onje. Ninga ishechike nebe onje.
This is the same water that was here when dinosaurs were here. There is no new water. This is the only water we will ever know. This is the same water that my great ancestors drank from and harvested our wild rice upon.
On this land where we belong, surrounded by the northern lights. On this land where we belong, beneath the starlit night.
On this land where we belong, wild Monoman grows. Our blood runs red through the watershed of the Mama King.
On this land where we belong, rivers, lakes, and streams flow through the heartland of the sacred Mississippi.
This water is sacred. water is sacred because without water, there is no life. You cannot drink oil.
On this land to which we belong, from the Canadian tar sand, 1 million barrels of oil a day to come through these sacred lands. On this land to which we belong, with oil thicker than crude, 4,000 workers coming our way, got them pandemic pipeline blues.
This moment is that moment where we face that oil. This is the moment where we face line 3 and say, no, you will not take our water.
On this land to which we belong, with pipelines that corrode, when they break, it'll be too late. It'll kill this river road. On this land where we belong, don't let that pipeline through. No more drill pads on native land. No more pipeline blues. No more drill pads on public land. No more pipeline blues. No more drill pads on sacred land. No more pipeline blues. No more. Don't let line 3 come through.
You are a story fed by generations. You carry songs of grief, triumph, thankfulness, and joy. Feel their power as they ascend within you. As you walk, run swiftly, even fly into infinite possibility. Let go that which burdens you. Let go any acts of unkindness or brutality. Let go that which has burdened your family, your community, your nation, or disturbed your soul. Let go one breath into another. Pray thankfulness for this earth we are, for this becoming we are, for this sunlight touching skin we are, for the cooling waters we are. Listen now as earth sheds her skin. Listen as the generations move one against the other to make power. We are bringing in a new story. We will be accompanied by ancient and new songs, and will celebrate together.
Nipe, Gizage iku, Gimi Guachawenemigo, Gijawenemigo. Nipe, Gizage iku, Gimi Guachawenemigo, Gijawenemigo.
Wow, what a wonderful, wonderful way for us to end the show. Thank you so much, Jan, for everything you've done. I'm going to go to gallery view, actually. Remove all spotlights, and we'll go to gallery view. So thank you, our beloved friends that are still with us. Our mystic abbot, Jerry. Love you so much, Jerry. Thank you for your incredible support. Pura Fe, that video was beautiful. Pura Fe, how do you like that idea of you and Sister Stone collaborating? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but boy, I just thought it would be so much fun to have two different generations that are so good at looping. It'd be really fun to see what the two of you might create together.
Well, if time permits, it would be wonderful.
Oh, maybe on a future Indigenous show.
How many kids are you raising there, Pura Fe?
Well, we have 3 girls, but sometimes there's the 2 grandchildren, so sometimes it's all 5.
5 kids.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Well, thank you, Pura Fe. And again, thank you, Janice Hall, for all that you did to make this show work tonight. Heather, you're such a gem. And we're going to have Heather on Straight Talk. I'll tell you about the topic another time, but she's going to be on our Straight Talk show on June 25th. And that's going to be a really special show. You get to know a wonderful other part of Heather. And Jay Mayer, who's just down the hall. We're going to celebrate you in a big way tomorrow morning. Well, tomorrow night also. We're taking Jay out to dinner at a really fancy restaurant close by. Thank you, everybody. And most of all, thank you to those of you, 155 people still in our Zoom room. God bless you all. And thousands watching on Facebook or who are going to watch the recordings. We love you. We hope to see you tomorrow morning. We look forward to seeing you on Tuesday night.